What's up, y'all? This is another episode of Rob Knows with Sister Tasha.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Sister Tasha. What's up, y'all? Tonight's episode, we are going to be talking about the Super Bowl. Did y'all watch?
And the halftime show.
Oh, the halftime show.
Halftime show was lit.
It was really lit. Yeah. I loved it. Did you like it?
I mean, I like the halftime show, but the one with Prince was still my favorite. I think it was better. I'm glad that they finally let a hip hop,
the hip hop culture be a part of it.
Exactly. Be a part of it. The closest they ever got to hip hop, well, they had Jay-Z on there, and then they had Missy Elliott on there. Right, so I'm glad that they ain't had no real, they ain't had like Nut, Little Pistol Starter, they ain't had, you know what I mean? That's what, you got, Dre on there and Snoop, and you got Lil Mojo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was good to see.
So,
it was good,
you know what I mean? It was good, and then, Mary, represented, so I think it was a fantastic halftime show, but just in my opinion, Prince, the show that Prince did, and a lot of us ain't Prince fans, but that's my man. Like Prince, I've been into Prince since the 80s. So, that was still my favorite.
But we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that, but we want to first, before we really get into the Super Bowl with the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals, we want y'all to go to our YouTube page. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button, and also hit that bell so you can get notifications when we every time we upload another show. Follow us on all social media at Rob Knows with Sister Tasha. We on Twitter, we on Facebook, we on Instagram, and of course, like I said, on our YouTube channel. All right, so
and before we go, I want to give a big shout out to Iladell Styles.
Yes.
And my man, DJ Quick. If y'all don't know him, y'all keep watching these episodes, and you will get to know him. The brother is talented. The brother is talented. So, that being said.
And shout out to him because he did our intro.
Yes, he did.
It's tight too.
Yeah. And we're gonna have him on the show, and we'll go into a lot of things that he's into. But quick, we just wanted to know we appreciate it. Much love, man. And now let's we can get into the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was a good game.
It really was.
Now, depending on if you're an LA fan or if you're a Cincinnati Bengal fan, to the LA fans it was a great game because they won.
Because they right.
But
right.
The last great Super Bowl I saw was Philly versus New England. That was a great game. You understand what I'm saying? This was a good game. This was a good game because it came down to the end, and for me, the reason it wasn't a great game is because the offensive hype players didn't live up to the billing. The defenses did.
Okay.
The defenses did, but the defenses did because the offenses didn't. You know what I'm saying? It got up to a point where it looked like both teams were playing not to lose.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
To win.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
And the Bengals were this close. See, I see things different. Mm-hmm. That last drive took 15 plays. Okay, that doesn't mean that the Rams dominated the ball for 15 plays. That means it took them 15 plays to be able to drive the ball on the Bengals defense. What came in the factors, the Bengals defense couldn't get off the field on third. You know they going for it 4 times.
Yeah,
At
definitely.
the end of the game, there's no punting the ball back to you. So
right.
You have to take the onus of the defense. I'm going to stop them.
Right.
I'm going to stop them right here. 3rd down, 4th down, they going for it. I'm going to stop them. And as what happens in football, sometimes they just didn't make that play. They just didn't make that one play that they were this close. They were this close to being Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
What I don't like, I understand why their coach saved the timeouts. Okay, because we're going to get the ball back. We got timeouts, da-da-da. But, bruh, stop the touchdown. Your defense is gassed. Okay? They're gassed. And not once did the coach call a timeout. Just listen, fellas, I'm going to use this one timeout. Just one. I'm going to let y'all catch your breath.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
But you know what I saw? You know, I mean, I might be like, I'm jumping, of course, like in. So when, I don't know, this is just me. I know you see it in another light. I'm like, but is it karma? Because remember when the guy, I don't know which number he was, but I know the other guy, he pulled his face mask, Ramsey. He pulled his face mask, but they didn't. They pulled his face mask, and then they did not call it. And clearly, he was trying to tell them. And I was sitting there like, why didn't it? Or can you do that in the Super Bowl like regular games? Why didn't they? Why didn't they challenge that? Because it wouldn't have been a touchdown, right?
You can't challenge a penalty. They either called it or they didn't. You feel me? You actually last year they had a thing where you could challenge whether it was defensive pass interference, but they took that rule out this season. Last year they could do it, and
so they didn't even call a penalty because they didn't see it. That was just one of those things.
Yeah, but like last year, the coach could have challenged it. Okay. He could have challenged the offensive pass interference, OPI. That's what we call it, OPI.
Okay.
And they took that rule out because it kind of slowed the game down, and every coach was wasting their challenges on offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference.
Okay.
But the refs, I always say I don't like a game where the refs decide who wins. The refs the reason they didn't call that, they let them play. That's called, when referees do that's called letting them play. But then in the last 2 minutes, you decide that's enough for y'all playing. You know what I'm saying? We need our TV time too. Because up until that point, they had only called 4 penalties the whole game. You know what I'm saying? 2 against Cincinnati, 2 against the Rams. And then in the last 2 minutes, they called about 4 or 5 penalties. But the irony of it all is in a regular season game, when the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Chiefs, same thing happened. The Bengals had the ball inside the 2-yard line, and on 4th and goal on 2 different occasions, the Chiefs stopped them. But a penalty kept it going. Now there's a big difference between a regular season game and a Super Bowl. But sort of what you said, karma. Karma came back and got you, because at the Chiefs won that game in Cincinnati, they would have been the outright number 1 seed and they'd have got a bye. You feel what I'm saying? Or in the Bengals lost. And the Titans lose. Now they got a shot at a bye, but they lost that. So they had the advantage until they lost to the Bengals on the Similar circumstances. So that's the game of football. It's game of inches. It's a game of inches. 1 inch this way is good enough. 1 inch that way, not too good. So, like I said, it was a good game. It wasn't the greatest Super Bowl game I ever saw. I mean, if you live in Cincinnati or LA, you probably think it is. But the truth of the matter is, it wasn't the greatest Super Bowl game. If you want to call it great, I'd put it in maybe the top 25. You know what I'm saying? Not that. For me, there's several games that are greater than that. When I remember when the Tennessee Titans went to the Super Bowl against the Rams, the last play of the game, 1 yard. The receiver caught the ball, stretched it out, got tackled, boom, on the 1 yard line. 1 yard separated Tennessee from winning the Super Bowl over the Rams because the time ran out. It was the last play of the game. Boom. That's great. That's a great play. That's a great game, when it comes down to that. But this, if the Bengals would have took the ball and at least drove within field goal range and maybe kicked the field goal to tie it up to send the Super Bowl to overtime, now it take it from good to now it's great because now the intensity ratchets up. Because now it's a tie game. We going to overtime. It's anybody's game. It could be whoever get the win the coin toss. And the best part about it being a Super Bowl, if it happens, is it don't matter how long it takes. They're gonna keep playing until it's a winner.
All right, so we back. So I was saying to brother before the break that I thought that when the Rams was getting ready to kick the field goal, he dropped the ball. The guy dropped the ball. So that 1 point, and we was like, oh man, that 1 point gonna come back and bite them, in the butt later. And then when Cincinnati went up 20, I was like, there go that 4 point. Now they up 4 points instead of 3. Like if they wanted to get, like you said, if they was going to try to tie it, kick a field goal, tie it, and then it would go into overtime. But
Well, I mean, that 1 point could have and probably should have cost them. But the turning point of the game was when Odell Beckham got hurt.
I was getting ready to say
because
that too.
Up until him getting hurt, they had to go zone. They played them in a zone, a Tampa 2 or a cover 3. That they had to play them in zone because of Cooper Kupp being on one side, Odell Beckham being on the other side. And what that would have done in that zone is that young man, Van Jefferson, would have probably had a lot of free space to work the middle against a linebacker. But when Odell got hurt, they just rolled coverage. And that rolling coverage means, to Cooper Kupp's side, rolling coverage means you have a cornerback playing on him. You have a safety over the top of him, right? And then that linebacker floats towards his side in a pass play to take away that middle section of the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they challenged Matthew Stafford to find other receivers. And as you see, a couple of the guys he threw passes to either dropped them or he overthrew them, trying to compensate, for not having that other elite receiver. And then their tight end, Tyler Higbee, who is a good serviceable tight end, he didn't play. He's on injured reserve. So it kind of left, what I'm saying? That's why I said it was a good game. But it wasn't the greatest game that I've ever seen in the Super Bowl. And that being said, the Rams went out and purchased the team, right? And here's something a little bit unrelated, because we're about to get into this trade for James Harden to the Sixers.
And
but when LeBron James made told other stars, hey, come play with me. Let's win a championship. Oh my God. Social media, news media. Oh, they went in on LeBron. But then the Rams did the same thing. And now it's a great achievement. And I'm so happy for them. But every player they pulled in was a star for their team. Matthew Stafford was a star for the Detroit Lions. He was a star quarterback. Okay. Odell Beckham, star wide receiver. Injuries and things is kind of dimmed the light on that, but he's still a fearsome receiver. Then you go get Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, right? Surely going to get a first ballot Hall of Fame nod. You understand? They went out and took
the creme
Jalen Ramsey.
The creme.
The creme de the crop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey was a top 5 cornerback when the Rams traded for him from Jacksonville. You understand? So they went out and they had to win. They had to win because you went out and got all these superstar play. That's like LeBron and Kobe and Shaq and Jordan playing on the same team. And don't win a final.
Yeah.
So that alone, they had to win. They had no choice but to win that. They had to win that.
I thought I had my phone off, child.
Like I said, it was a good game.
So the guy, what's his name?
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. So when they had him up there and they was giving him the trophy, he felt like he wasn't, he wasn't worthy, like sort of kind of he was saying, But do you think he stepped up? Did you think he stepped up? Like once
Cooper Kupp did something that only a handful of receivers have ever done. Okay, this young man had 145 receptions during the year, which is insane. Okay. He also led the league with almost 2,000 receiving yards, which is insane. Okay, the last guy to do that was a guy named Calvin Johnson. They called him Megatron. He just got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so he basically was being humble.
Humble.
Okay.
Then he led the league in touchdown catches. They call it the Triple Crown for a receiver. He led the league in receptions, touchdowns, and yards.
This is Kupp, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I think, you're going to have some people say, oh, yeah, he did this, but give him his props. Why? I for the same reason people won't give black quarterbacks their props, because he's a white wide receiver. You understand? But a baller is a baller.
Exactly.
The boy's a baller. Like, understand, he didn't get 145 receptions because teams said, oh, he white, let him catch the ball. Right? He got that knowing week in and week out when teams play him, he going to face double and triple coverage. And they still find ways, and he still found ways to get open. You know what I mean? So the boy's a baller. He was just being humble, which, we know, sister, because we spiritual, so we know what humility is.
Right.
And we know what God says about being humble and humility. So he was humble about it. I mean, let's say if he would have got up there and been like, oh, I'm the shit. Can't nobody touch me.
No, I wasn't expecting him to say that. I'm just
saying people would look different. People would look at him different.
Of course they would. They would.
You know what I mean?
Nobody want to get up there and hear you say, all that. Well, Snoop said it. Snoop said, I want to thank
you.
Yeah. He put in all the hard work and the dedication to get where he was.
Snoop don't got to run across the middle with 220-pound safeties gunning for your head.
I know. I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? So that's the point, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let your fans say it for you.
Yeah.
Let your family and friends say it for you, because they're going to say it.
Yeah,
You
well,
feel
you
me?
did.
They
You
go and
answered
say
the
it.
way I was trying to get out of you. That's what I was asking you. You know, even though he said that, that's why I was saying how good of it. But
Yeah,
what is it like?
humility.
What do you think that
I like him.
or how did he
I mean,
play?
I
Yeah,
like
that's what
him.
I was trying to get.
I
Exactly what
like
you
him as a
said.
football player. Listen, I told you I'm a fan. I don't dislike. I'm a player because he don't play for the Eagles. I'm like, just so y'all see today, I'm rocking the great one, Ray Lewis. This is actually the game worn Super Bowl jersey when he won his Super Bowl in 2000. But I was so happy for Odell Beckham. I was so happy for this young man because he's taken tons of criticism, but he's a Super Bowl champ now. He might have tore the same ACL he tore a couple of years ago, which is
Oh yeah, that was
that's really
crazy.
bad luck.
That was crazy.
But while he's healing, he can put that ring on.
I know that's right.
He can put that ring on. So I'm really happy for him.
I'm gonna
I'm
say, show
happy
him the ring,
for
Gina. Show him the ring. Every
yeah,
time I
yeah.
see
I'm happy for
every picture
Jalen
they see, my
young
head
men
will
like
be like this.
Eric Weddle. They have a safety that played for the Rams. His name is Eric Weddle. He played for the San Francisco Chargers. I mean the San Francisco Chargers. Lord have mercy. He played for the San Diego Chargers, and then he played for the Baltimore Ravens. And
Okay.
he chased that Super Bowl ring for years. He had retired. He retired in 2019, and the Rams had a lot of injuries. And they asked him, "Hey, you want to come and you want to come and maybe try to make a play for that Super Bowl?" So now, after all the years that he played, he got a Super Bowl ring. See, I like stories like that.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? He
Of
came
course.
off the couch. Okay, he came. Now listen, and if y'all don't fool yourselves. You got to still be a hell of a football player to come off your couch and go play in the NFL.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to be a baller. So he got a ring. So I'm happy for that. I like to see deserving players get a ring. You know what I mean? And a lot of players on the Rams, I think, for as much dedication and hard work. Aaron Donald, he's a monster, but he got his ring.
Well, what about the guy? Because I think he was on the Rams, Andrew Whitworth.
Andrew Whitworth is 40 years old.
Yo, and he got the Walter Payton
Man of the Year award.
Man of the Year.
He got his ring. He retiring. This is it for him. But he was going to retire last year, but the coach and the teammates like, look, let's try one more again.
One more time.
If we don't make it this time, fine, but let's try one more again. Time. I'm saying, he got his.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's what I like. That's the beauty of sports for me. Even if it ain't my team, I'm a fan of players, so I can cheer for players. You know what I mean? So that's what I liked about it. For me, that was what was great about the game. You know what I'm saying? That's what was great. A lot of players who have been on some bad teams and some bad organizations who probably would have never got a chance to play for a championship or win a championship.
Yeah.
My number one player that breaks my heart that never got a chance to win a championship is Allen Iverson, hands down.
Okay.
Hands down. If Julius Erving would have never won, if Harold Katz didn't go out and get Moses Malone, then Julius would have been that one for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's Allen Iverson. It's not Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley talks too much. So, you know what I'm saying? It ain't him.
But who in football? AI. Who else in football? Who in football do you think should have got a ring but hasn't gotten one?
Well, they not playing. Adrian Peterson, I would love to see Adrian Peterson get a Super Bowl ring.
Okay.
I would love to see Randall Cunningham and Donovan McNabb.
I thought
that's the hometown. I would have loved to see them get a ring. I'd have loved to see Michael Vick get a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These players are going to go into the Hall of Fame, but that ring, this is the difference between a first ballot player and a player that got to wait a few years. You know what I'm saying? They had, I forget this guy's name, but they had one dude that he was a finalist to be a Hall of Famer for like 13 years in a row before they got guys that played back in the 40s and 50s that every year they're finalists and they never get in.
That's crazy.
For whatever one reason or another.
Whatever, yeah.
But listen, that being said, I kind of leaned that way. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to discuss the elephant in the room, the James Harden trade to the Sixers and the Ben Simmons trade to the Brooklyn Nets. See you in 30.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are back. This is Rob Knows.
Okay.
With Sister Tasha.
Yeah.
Again, we want y'all to go to our YouTube, to our channel. When you click on the YouTube button, hit the like button, the subscribe, hit that bell at the top so you can get those notifications, and leave comments. We welcome the comments.
Leave the comments. For sure. If you think something,
whether you agree or disagree, just you can leave your comments. That would it would be nice. And make sure you follow us on all social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And if you think you know something that Rob knows, let me know, because I like grinding people up, especially on air. Let's grind it up. I'm better when I have somebody
to debate with, because I'm not going to do no debate.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because when people come at me like that, I get to go into my bag. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they say no, because I know this, and I'll be like, wait a minute. I dig down in my bag, and I'll be like, yeah, this is what I know. You know what I'm saying? So, leave comments and everything. So what we gonna talk about, sister? We gonna talk about
this James Harden and the Ben
Sixers
Simmons
trading. Yeah, Ben Simmons. Andre Drummond. Steph Curry's little brother.
Right.
And 2 first-round draft picks to the Brooklyn Nets for James Harden. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that this year, that James Harden thing, or next year, it's not going to look nice. It's going to put butts in seats. You understand? A Sixers ticket is about to become the hardest thing to get. But it was the stupidest thing the 76ers could have done. See, it wasn't like when, and I just spoke on it briefly earlier in the show, it wasn't like when Dr. J, when Harold Katz went out and brought Moses Malone to the Sixers. Because before bringing Moses Malone to the Sixers, we still had Mo Cheeks. We still had Andrew Toney. We had Dr. J. We had Caldwell Jones. You know what I'm saying? We had, I think Chocolate Thunder was still playing on the team. We had Bobby Jones, right? We had a nice squad. We just didn't have that player. Because see, back in those days, every team had a 7-foot center. Even if he was trash, they had a 7-foot center. But when you get to that point, you had to play against Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale. And then Larry Bird. Or you had to play against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And we never had that. Caldwell Jones was, even though he started a number of years for the Sixers, he was a C-class center at best. So, this ain't the same, because we have now 2.5 legit star players. Joel Embiid's a star. James Harden is a star. And Tobias Harris he halfway a star. You know, and the reason I think it's dumb is because people can say what they want about Ben Simmons. The big knock on Ben Simmons is he doesn't have an outside shot. But he is a 6'10" point guard. Magic Johnson was 6'9", and he is relentless attacking the basket, and he's a great defender, and he's young. And then you give him Andre Drummond, who over the last 10 games had 3 20-rebound games. 20 rebounds. And then you give up one of the Curry brothers. Now, Seth Curry is nowhere near as good as his brother Steph Curry.
Right.
But damn it, he close. You feel me? He's good. He'll never be Steph Curry. But you gave up 2 first-round draft picks. One for 2023 and one for 2027. So essentially what you did was you mortgaged your future to try to win now. Okay. But let me tell you what Rob knows.
I was going to say, because you made a comment that it was kind of like that they did it in their same division.
Well, the fact that they did it in their same division, Brooklyn did it because because they were going to get the fat part of the deal.
Okay.
So they didn't mind. But the Sixers didn't think that far ahead, in my opinion.
I feel like they never do.
Here's what Rob knows.
What you know, Rob?
James Harden, when he was a young player, he played with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, Oklahoma City Thunder. They made it to the finals against LeBron James and the Miami Heat, and they lost. Now, this is when they were all 25 or younger. You would think that management would try to find a way to keep that nucleus together. But they were all young, coming off rookie contracts. James Harden wanted to get paid. So did Kevin Durant, so did Russell Westbrook. They couldn't keep all 3, so they let James Harden go. So he wanted out of Oklahoma because they said, we just can't pay you what you think you're worth. So they sent them to Houston. Right? And let me tell you something. Stats, he is a hell of a scorer. Hell of a scorer. Like, he got to be top 4, top 5 in scoring. Just unstoppable sometimes. But eventually, it didn't work for him there, so they sent him to Brooklyn. Didn't take Brooklyn but a year or so to find out what I already know. Which is James Harden has never won a big game in his career. Never.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, when he was with Houston, and they were playing against the Golden State Warriors at the height of their powers, and they had Golden State down 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals. Chris Paul got hurt. Tore hamstring. No worries. We still got James Harden. You feel me? He folded like a lawn chair, and Golden State came back and won that series 4-3. James Harden has never won a big game. Ever.
So you think that he's not going to, is no substance for him to help us get to the championship, to the playoff?
From game 0 to 82, he's going to have you excited. The possibilities, okay? But let's say Joel Embiid gets hurt, okay? And he has to hold the ship above water until he gets better. Well, he's already proven he can't do that. Like I said, from from October to the near the end of April, the middle of April, he's fantastic. 60 points a game, 60 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds. Like, he puts up stupid stat lines. But then here come the big game. Here come that game. I'm playing to go to the chip. You know, all of a sudden, they say that a great player elevates his play in the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying if he scores 60 in one game, he get in the playoffs supposed to score 70. No. But he doesn't even average what he averaged for the season. So let's say his season average is 32.9 points.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit the playoffs, your average should go up 35.7, 38.9. You understand what I'm saying? His drops drastically.
Mm.
You know, he is, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying James Harden isn't a great player, but he doesn't have, when a team makes a championship run, they have to have something called championship experience. You feel me? This is why Kevin Durant was so sought after when he became a free agent, because he has championship experience.
Mm.
This is why LeBron has been to 10 finals. I don't care if he lost 6. He went to 10 finals, but because he has championship experience. There is not a player on the Sixers roster right now that has championship experience, and then you go and trade for a guy who don't have championship or big game experience.
So do you think that he's going to stay with Philly, or is this just...
Well, I think for the trade now, this year they got to pay him the majority, the rest of his $43 million, because that's how much he makes in a season. And then next year he's on the book for $44 million.
Mm.
So at that price, and then you already gave Joel Embiid a max contract. So you got these 2-star players, and then Tobias Harrison. He ain't coming cheap. But that's just 3 players on a 15-man roster. Brooklyn already had a great bench. Mm-hmm. They had one of the top 3 best benches in the NBA, in my opinion. The Phoenix Suns have the best bench, I believe, and then Golden State Warriors. And then I believe that it's the Brooklyn Nets. But they just added to it. They already got DeAndre Jordan, who is a serviceable center. He's getting up there in age. But then you add a possibly 15 to 20 rebound a night guy in Andre Drummond. You add a Steph Curry now, where pick your poison. Ben Simmons is coming down. He's 6'10". He can guard point guard, center, small forward, powerful. He can guard all positions. But now he comes down to attack the hoop. And because of the shooters they have standing out on the perimeters, guess what? Now Ben Simmons is killing you, taking the ball to the hole. Now, Ben Simmons is a crybaby. He's young bull. This is a reason why I don't believe that the NBA should take a college player in the draft until they finish their junior season. See, you can forego. Now they got this thing where no high schoolers, you got to have 1 year of college.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, these organizations, we talked about it in the football show. These organizations want to put butts in the seats.
That's it.
I guarantee you that was the organization, the owners and the people who own management for Sixers. That's what they want. James Harden, the Wachovia Center is going to be sold out. Every home game going to be sold out now because James Harden is playing. Yeah. But don't let us make it at least to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're going to be calling for his head, just like they was in Oklahoma. Well, not in Oklahoma. Oklahoma didn't want him to leave, but they couldn't afford him. He wouldn't take less money. But in Houston, you know, the pressure got too much for him. I want to leave.
Philly fans, I'm telling you.
Listen, if you don't know, now you know. You thought Brooklyn fans was hard. You feel
Philly
me?
Fans ain't no joke.
You come here and don't perform and try to go to the club. See, because it was a big controversy right after they blew that 3-1 lead for the Western Conference Finals to the Golden State Warriors. 2 hours later, somebody had him on video at the strip club. James Harden. You understand what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
No. What? No, allegedly. It was on video.
I ain't see it.
Okay, well, allegedly, however you want to do. I saw the pictures, though, James. I saw you. I saw you making it rain, Joan Twerk. I saw you. But that's my point, though. That's my point. They traded for James Harden for sales. I guarantee you, when his jerseys hit, Philly, you won't see a lot of people in Philly wearing James Harden jerseys. You feel me?
Yeah,
it's for sale, just like what they did, just like they did to Allen Iverson.
Yeah,
just like they did to Allen Iverson. Let me tell you something about the Sixers organization. Allen Iverson, Dr. J, Charles Barkley, 3 of the greatest Sixers to ever play. But the Sixers organization doesn't have Allen Iverson on their staff in any capacity. This young man gave his blood, sweat, and tears to the Sixers. I don't ever remember Allen Iverson not playing through injuries. Okay? You're talking about a 5'10", I know because I stood next to him, a 5'10", 165-pound dude who went at Shaq. Shaq put him on his ass. He kept coming back. And there today, he said this in conversation. He said, hey, they haven't even made an offer. Like he said, I don't want to be the head coach. I don't want to be the CEO or the GM. I just want to come in and give what I got to these young players.
That's what the Eagles did when they kept Deuce Staley on.
They kept Deuce. They kept Harold Carmichael. For some time, they kept Michael Quick. Mike Quick. They kept him. So I'm just letting everyone know about the Sixers organization. Understand this. Sixers fans, James Harden fans, they did not bring James Harden here because they aspire to win a championship. You don't give away 3 of your best players. I don't care how you feel about Ben Simmons. You don't give away 3 of your best players and 2 future first-round picks and then say, we trying to win a championship. That don't even make sense. But the media will spin it and sell it to you because it's all about this. It's all about this. And when James Harden suits up and plays, the Wells Fargo Center is going to be sold out.
Yeah, it is. It's going. It
sold out.
Most definitely is. Like you said, everybody, they probably buying this jersey now. They probably got them on sale right now.
Take the probably out. You're gonna see James Harden every. And I ain't gonna front. Y'all know I'm a Jersey dude, but I'ma probably head right out and buy an Allen Iverson jersey, not a James Harden. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna head out and buy another AI jersey, but it won't be a James Harden jersey. I love the boy. I love his game, but he has never won a big game.
So
he has never put a
when
team.
It's crunch time, he don't really step up.
Well, in the regular season,
I'm saying when it's crunch time, like far as the getting to the championship and stuff like that.
Look, man, game 7, we got to have it. You know what I mean? And you go off, you save your best for right then. But he has never done it. And I challenge any of viewers, I challenge any of y'all to pull up and show me some video of a big game that James Harden won. And I'm not talking in the regular season. Okay? The regular season only gets you seeded. The playoffs make you a legend.
And there you have it, folks.
So that'll be it. And look, sister, that's it. That's all I got for it.
Listen, you said enough. And so like we said, listen, if y'all, want to leave comments, if you have your own opinion of it, because this is our opinion. This is how we coming off the cuff, what Rob knows. But if you have your own opinions of and your thoughts about the Super Bowl and the trade that the Sixers and Brooklyn Nets did, leave it in the comments. So once again, remember, just make sure you follow us on all social media and stay tuned for our next episode. We're going we're gonna change it up a little bit on y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna throw something different out there. So just stay tuned for that. All right.
Yeah, and then hopefully, wait, sis, let me put them on to this.
Go ahead.
We may be fortunate and blessed enough to bring y'all some live footage from the motherland, from Africa, Mother Africa.
Oh, okay. Right.
Where we might be able to talk to some people from the homeland, and y'all tune in for that. That's going to be special. And I'm talking about straight
really
right there from the homeland,
in the midst
so,
of it. So
Mother Earth, where Mother Earth started.
We could get that popping.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
All
right, Sister Tasha.
We'll another show in the books.
Yup. Just so you know, hope everybody just smash the like and follow us, subscribe to us, because big things is coming.
Yeah.
Rob,
for sure.
with Rob knows and Sister Tasha, we can't go into it. Big things is coming. So look, when you get on, just hold on.
Yeah, we really hope y'all like the show. Please spread the news, tell your family and friends about Rob Knows with Sister Tasha, okay?
Stay tuned, stay informed, find out what Rob knows. Peace.
Diesel on the beat.